I'll never forget the first time I saw her. She was sitting alone at the corner table of the crowded high school cafeteria, head lowered, hands wrapped tightly around a carton of milk she hadn't even opened. Her shoulders seemed to fold in on themselves, like she was trying to take up as little space as possible. Her name was Emily, but at the time I didn't know her name, her story, or the quiet storm she was living through. I just knew there was something different about her, something fragile, yet unbreakable. I was only there that day because my niece had forgotten her lunch and I'd come to drop it off. I never planned to stay, but I froze the moment I saw what happened. A group of boys swaggered into the cafeteria like they owned the place, loud and smug, slapping each other on the back. Their leader, a tall, broad-shouldered boy with a cruel grin, spotted Emily and leaned toward his friends. They whispered, laughed, and then, it happened. He crept up behind her while his friends watched, phones ready. Without warning, he reached out and snapped her bra strap, the sound sharp and humiliating in the chatter-filled room. Emily gasped, jerking forward as the sting hit her skin, her milk carton tipping and spilling across the table. The boys roared with laughter. Around them, other students glanced over, some snickering, some turning away, pretending not to see. I wanted to shout, to step in, but I hesitated. I wasn't a teacher. I wasn't a parent here. But then I caught a glimpse of Emily's face as she tried to hide her tears behind her hair, and something in me snapped too. I moved forward, but before I could speak, a deep, authoritative voice cut through the laughter. You three. Stop right there. It was Mr. Daniels, the school's head of security, his tone sharp as steel. His eyes locked on the boys, and suddenly their smirks faded. He told Emily to stay where she was, then ordered the boys to follow him. But before they left, the leader muttered something under his breath, just loud enough for Emily to hear. Her knuckles whitened against the table. I didn't know it yet, but this incident was just the tip of something bigger. The cafeteria security cameras had caught every second of what happened, and in the days to come, that footage would become the spark that turned Emily's quiet suffering into something powerful enough to shake the whole school and eventually, a courtroom. If you've made it this far, I want you to stay with me. Because what Emily went through isn't just her story, it's something that could happen anywhere, to anyone. And the way she chose to stand up for herself will change the way you think about courage forever. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around, because by the end, you're going to see why that moment in the cafeteria became a turning point not just for Emily, but for everyone who witnessed it. The days after the cafeteria incident were tense. Word spread fast, and the boys' friends began whispering about Emily. Some called her a snitch, though she hadn't even reported anything yet. She stayed quiet, but I could see the change in her. There was this weight in her eyes, like she was carrying a decision so heavy it could crush her if she made the wrong move. What she didn't know was that Mr. Daniels had already pulled the cafeteria footage. And what he didn't know was that Emily had been enduring smaller, quieter humiliations for months, harsh whispers when she passed in the hall, cruel notes shoved into her locker, and now, this. When he called her into his office, she sat in the corner chair, arms folded tightly. He played the footage on his monitor. Emily's lips trembled as she watched herself flinch on screen, the boys' laughter echoing faintly from the video speakers. This isn't okay, Mr. Daniels said. This isn't just boys being boys. This is harassment. And it's illegal. Emily swallowed hard. It's just, if I say anything, it'll get worse. Mr. Daniels leaned forward. Emily, it's already worse. The only question is whether you're going to let them keep doing this or whether you're going to make them regret ever thinking you were weak. It was in that moment something shifted inside her. She still looked scared, but there was a flicker, tiny, but there, a spark of defiance. The day the boys were suspended, the school buzzed like a shaken beehive. Their parents were furious, not at their sons for what they'd done, but at the fact that Emily had blown it out of proportion. But this time, Emily had allies. Mr. Daniels refused to back down, and the district office got involved after reviewing the footage. That's when things took a turn nobody expected. Criminal charges were filed. I saw her again weeks later, sitting outside the courthouse with her mom. She was dressed simply jeans, sweater, but there was a new steadiness in her posture. When the hearing began, the prosecutor played the footage for the judge. The laughter, the snap, the flinch, it all played out in perfect clarity. Emily's mom squeezed her hand, and I could see tears glistening in her eyes. The boy's attorney tried to spin it as a harmless prank, but the judge's expression didn't soften once. When it was over, the ruling came down hard: mandatory counseling, community service, and, because they were over the legal age of consent, charges for sexual harassment that would stay on their records. It wasn't about revenge for Emily. It was about finally being seen. Finally being taken seriously. When we stepped out into the sunlight, she spotted me. I hadn't expected her to remember me from that cafeteria corner weeks earlier, but she did. She walked over, a faint smile on her lips. "You were there that day," she said softly. "You saw it." I nodded. "And I saw you stand up for yourself." She glanced at the courthouse doors, then back at me. "It's strange. I used to think staying quiet made me invisible. Turns out, speaking up made me stronger." That was the last time I saw Emily in person, but her story stuck with me. Months later, I heard she joined the school's peer advocacy program, helping other students speak up when they were being bullied or harassed. And now, I'm telling you, yes, you watching this, because someone out there might be sitting in their own cafeteria right now, thinking nobody will ever stand up for them. But courage doesn't always start loud. Sometimes it starts in the smallest voice that finally says, "Enough." So if you believe stories like Emily's matter, if you believe silence shouldn't protect bullies, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this. Because you never know who needs to hear it next.